and you're a moron. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Unfit and Unharm podcast. Yes, I return with my revenge, I guess. How are you
What
been doing?
revenge? I've been doing well. This is actually something I can tell. Start at the beginning. I finally got around where we live. I'm a full disclosure. I'm an American citizen as well, and my passport has been out of date since before the pandemic.
Ooh,
Here's the kicker. You ready for the kicker?
okay.
I was planning, back in 2019. I was planning. I had a renewal passport date set for April of 2020,
Okay.
and they shut off all over the world all the embassies, so you couldn't renew a passport until like mid 2021.
Interesting.
And at that point, I was just not in the mood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
It's bureaucracy and all of that. That's kind of fun.
yeah, so basically, I got around to today to finally they claimed that they had that the embassy was open, and I guess it technically was, but you couldn't really, the public wasn't really able to renew passports normally
Yeah.
until February of 2023. Like, it's been shut for like 3 years. Like, some people can do like emergency passports, but like for regular folk who just want to,
See
get
their
one,
family
you had
or
to
do
wait.
something of that nature. I see what you mean.
Yeah, so till today I was at 3 o'clock going on my computer, just spamming, trying to get a
I know what you mean. Get the passport.
yeah, and the earliest I can get it is February.
That's
It's crazy.
stupid. So dumb.
Yeah, you have to get like 3 months in advance in here if it's not emergency, and
So stupid.
that's just how it is.
Our country
Yeah.
in some particular things, guys, is absolutely dumb. Like, really dumb.
Everybody's is. Yeah. Well, lately I've just been thinking, about all the. Today's topic, I'm just gonna come out and say it, is like the main topic that we decided to set in motion for today.
Oh, you're not going to ask
Here's-
about me? Okay, that's fair. I see how that is.
No, I'm not gonna ask you anything about you. You know why? Because you're an idiot that nobody cares
Shut
about.
up and you're a moron.
I'm just kidding. No, so basically, I just want to come with full disclosure. We for these podcasts, we do come up with like a basic topic. We don't just
try,
come into them
of course.
blind, but we don't. But we just let the the podcast flow to what it can. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we come up with a topic and we just let it flow. So the topic of today's podcast is music and culture. Now, I know that we seem to be more like anime-esque type of podcast, but we're really not. We really enjoy all walks of life. Isn't that right?
Yeah, we have a lot of kind of different kinds of interests. Like, we don't really have like just specifically anime related stuff or just cartoon related stuff. Like, we enjoy different kind of things of shows, games, some particular things that we like to do that I like to do, you don't like to do, and vice versa. Like, we're different people. We're not just like people who like to watch anime. I guess weeps is the word for it, but you know what I mean.
I never really felt much of a weeb. You know what I mean? Because
Same.
I'm going to say something that's going to sound really terrible for a guy who does anime reviews and stuff like that for his channel, because
What?
I will be having a couple more videos coming up on anime, but I never really wanted to go to Japan. I never really had that big desire.
Honestly, same.
You know why? And I'll tell you why.
Why?
I don't think I do. Because everything that I want to experience from Japan, I've already experienced through YouTube. A
Mhm.
lot of it.
Like, don't get me wrong, it sounds really cool to go to these places, but it's like,
It just sounds like it's going to cost a bag of money to go
Yeah.
there, and everything there is going to be super expensive.
and we're not super
and-
rich or anything, not to kind of like sell us short, but like we're not in a place to be super rich or anything right now in life.
No, it's not even that. It's not even that. Even if I had $5 million to burn on this stuff, I don't think I'd really want to go necessarily to Japan. I wouldn't say no,
Fair.
but like the cool stuff that I want to go to Japan to see is like the bullet train, and they have like an island of cats, which I think is cool. They have like a bunch of other things, like the shrines are supposed to be cool, but it's like all the anime reasons are not the reasons I want to go to Japan, at least personally.
That's fair. But I'm going to say this: the best way to kind of like describe you and your anime things is basically one friend of ours just call you something very very simple to both of us most of the time, but mostly for you.
I'll proudly say it. I'm a filthy casual.
Yes. I wanted you to say that.
I'm just going to say something. I don't think I'm actually a filthy casual. I just don't think I'm a degenerate.
We don't really we like to watch anime, we just don't really watch it on like a daily basis, the main thing in our life to just do.
No, I watch an episode or two a day, but like I don't spend more than 4 hours.
Yeah,
4 to 5 hours a week.
Like there are some people who just like watch, like no judging you or anything, like watch a lot of anime. Like that's what they like to do, and that's the only thing they like to do. Not judging anyone, it just what we like to do for a day-to-day basis all the time. We like to do
full
other
disclosure. Me and Unfit, I don't know if Unfit was like this, but I definitely was. I used to be the type of person who watched like 6 hours a day.
I binge Bleach in like few days. Okay, you're talking to me. I remember when I had the time.
I bleached My Hero in 2.
Yeah. Also, I watched basically the entire Yu Yu Hakusho in kind of like 3 days. I don't know if that's even possible, but like I watched really in condensed time period because I wasn't in the mood, and it's kind of like lifted me up for a very long time.
I watched Gintama in 2 weeks.
Damn. But we're not here to argue about who is the filthier casual right now compared to what they were. We're here to talk about music and culture. So
going back to it, I really think that a good way to start off is to tie up a bunch of the topics that we were talking before about how great Japan is and anime. I think a great one to start with is Dr. Stone.
Okay.
Now,
explain.
Dr. Stone
expound.
I'll explain what I mean. So basically, Dr. Stone is an anime that Unfit here and another friend of mine got me to watch a couple of years ago. I personally was at the mindset of, at that time, I watch what I watch. I'm not going to enjoy this. Or maybe I will, but like, no, I watched it. I enjoyed it. And one of the things that really got hooked me up is the outro song. Or was it the intro song?
Which one?
I think it was the outro.
Sing give the music kind of like not.
Tell me why I get started into the sky. But
I think that's the outro.
Outro.
Yeah, that's the outro.
So I remember loving that song so much. I actually downloaded it to my phone. It's called Rude. Is it by Rude and is it called Life? I think it's by I liked it so much I looked it up. It's a song. It's a song Life called by the band Rude. I think. I think I'm close enough. I can actually look this up because I still have it on my phone.
Really?
Yeah, just a second. Rude Life. I think it's called Rude Life. Search history, Life. I know the song's name is Life.
Okay.
I can't find it. Rude A, Life. Yeah, that's the name of the song. And no, the band is Rude A, and the name of the song is Life. And I really liked it because it was used so well in that one scene where we're gonna go into spoilers. So if you didn't watch Dr. Stone, then skip the next minute or so because we're very sorry.
And it's worth watching, so a little bit of spoilers.
It is 100% worth watching. I gave it a solid 6.5 out of 10. For me, 6.5 is super duper high because
you rank things differently.
For me, okay, yeah, I rank things up to 7. I'm like most stuff. I rank up to 7 because I feel like people are way too
generous,
frivolous with how much they hand certain how they hand 7, 8s, and 9s and 10s.
Right.
Like they're way too liberal with that. Those damn liberals.
Those damn liberals.
Any... Anyways, so there's this one scene that where the main character, his name is Senku, is basically freeing Kohaku from a tree that she was put under, and I thought that it fit there beautifully. Do you agree? Do you remember that scene?
Which one again? I just didn't hear you for a second.
Yeah, I'll repeat. I'll repeat myself. So there's this one scene where Senku, the main character of Doctor Stone, frees Kohaku, the one of the main characters as well from Doctor Stone. Well, she is under a tree, and he makes like a pulley. Remember that scene?
He makes her like she become his ally or anything, something like that.
No. So the scene where he's freeing her from the tree.
Yeah, I remember that.
Where she's. So I thought so they use a song of Route 8 Life there, and I thought it fit perfectly. Like a lot of animes don't really utilize their songs correctly. I feel like they did a perfect job here.
I see why you're saying also the Tree of Life and everything, because it also fit the fact that she was under a tree.
I never said anything about a Tree of Life.
Whatever that means. You said something about a tree, I think.
Yeah, she was stuck under a tree. That's all. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. I thought that was a good one to, get the ball rolling. So do you have any other thoughts about any other pieces of media?
I have quite a few.
Quite a few. What do you want to talk about?
I think a very popular one that a lot of people actually know about, but maybe you don't know about because you haven't played the games or seen the games, is actually Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. There are a lot of really good pieces of songs there.
I'm just gonna say something. I have watched a couple of videos. I haven't played the games, and I haven't really gotten into Metal Gear. But go right ahead.
No, it's fair. Like sometimes there are things that like you got into and I did not. But the point is like Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance is honestly a lot of people consider it to be a really fun game. But one of the things that are really, really interesting about this game is that you don't like a lot of video games or just in general, like some even form of media, and anime it's a little bit better because you can actually tell the story of the villain. But when you're playing in, I don't know, a video game and you're playing as this one main character, unless of course they specifically want to create a scenario that you play as the bad guy or a DLC, you don't really see the bad guy. You don't really have a time to actually establish the bad guy and actually create sometimes this friction or essentially just understand their motivation or anything of that nature to kind of like make them interesting or complex. And Metal Gear Rising, while not all of its villains are like, the most complex thing in the world, they basically were able to kind of create theme songs that kind of describe what the characters are. And because of that, like you really, really just understand who those characters are, even though you don't really meet them more than one or twice in the entire game.
Can you give me an example of a song that comes to mind? Let's say a tune or something like that.
Oh yeah, there's quite a few. I think the three most popular ones are, and I'm not in order, is basically the theme song of the final boss with Raiden, which is "It Has to Be This Way." If you know that song, I cannot really play it because it has to be this way. That one.
Can you just like tune it? Just give me a little bit of a tune.
Do you know that one from the memes?
Oh yeah,
that one. There is also the other one, which is I believe more popular than the third one I'm going to mention because it's basically one of the basically supposed to be your main rival, even though he's not the bad guy, he's supposed to be your rival, and that is Jetstream Sam, which is a very, very interesting character. You know the memes from Metal Gear Rising of the guys that smile?
Yes.
That one.
No. Yeah, I know exactly who that is. The guy who's like superly buff.
No, actually, that's Armstrong. The one with the glasses, that's Armstrong. That's the final boss. The other one is Jetstream Sam, which I actually can send to you an image of this guy if you know that one is. But the point is, his music is actually very, very interesting. Basically, his music is supposed to represent kind of an opposite of what he is right now. Because Jetstream Sam basically just like how should I say this? Like he's supposed to be the bad guy, but he's a person that kind of like lost his way because of like just particular things. Like he kind of like lost hope and just joined the bad guys. It's kind of like more complex than I'm trying to explain it, but it's like he basically lost his hope.
You explained it. You explained it perfectly.
So it's kind of like he's like Raiden, but not really, because he just like lost his hope. So this is Jetstream Sam, if you know that guy. That's the meme. If you know that meme.
I sort of recognize, but he's not like super popular in the meme world.
He's not as popular. No, he's not as popular as Senator Armstrong. You know, the guy that like, you know, the buff guy. But he's, for this smile, he is very noticeable.
Or Snake. Snake.
But his song is actually one of my favorite songs of all time.
You know the meme.
Yeah,
you know the meme, right?
But Jetstream Sam theme song is probably one of my favorite songs of all time, which is called "The Only Thing I Know for Real," which basically just talked about the fact that he basically just a broken man, even though he's kind of like joined the bad guys, doesn't really know what he's doing, and he's just holding his blade and just fighting for something that he doesn't really believe in. It's a really, really, really good song, which is a very, very interesting one. It's like, you do get to see Jetstream Sam more than the other bosses, but like even then you kind of like look at Metal Gear Rising Revengeance as kind of like not really a game that like you have too much interactions with your bosses. Of course, it's like hack and slashing game, but they were able to nail Jetstream Sam not only in personality but in theme song so well that it's probably, I would say, the most favorite boss for most people, because his fight is also pretty awesome as well. But regardless, it's just like a really, really cool and interesting theme song that I really, really like. And the third one is Red Sun, which is, I think it's less popular for you, but it's like, it's also a very well-known one because it's also a very fun favorite because of its upbeat and other things of that nature. The other songs of Metal Gear Rising Revengeance are also very, very known, but yeah, that's kind of like the theme songs that I kind of like remember for the most part.
Just a second, I'm gonna look up Red Sun. Oh, I know who Red Sun is.
Red Sun?
He was in a meme. Yeah, he was in a meme.
I'm freaking invincible, like that guy.
Yeah, that I know who that is.
No, yeah, and there's
it wasn't a super popular meme, but it was a meme.
I would say this: the fact that Metal Gear Rising Revengeance has popular meme, really popular character for memes, like 2 of them, and then a lot of really, really small ones that are still like not super popular as Senator Armstrong and Raiden together, but still kind of popular. That shows you how much memeable this game is and how good it is. Basically, it's not JoJo level, but it's still really, really good.
You know, all this talking reminds me of something else that's actually kind of topical.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the Resident Evil 7 game?
Resident Evil 7. Right. Remember Biohazard quite a bit. I think it's basically one of the best.
It's my second favorite Resident Evil game.
Which one is your first?
4.
Of course. I'm hoping, like, just a side tangent. I'm hoping the remake will not be bad. That's what I'm hoping.
No, I think the remake will be. I think the remake will be good. But what I was thinking about is when you go to the loading screen and stuff like that. Resident Evil 7 just has a banger song going. I don't think I can sing it justice.
I think it's called Aunt Rhody. I think that's the name of the song.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the one that they also used from the trailer to just show the theme of the.
I'm just gonna say something. I'm not talking about the gameplay wise. I'm talking about all things considered to the technology that they had to their time. I think 7 did a little bit of a better job than 4 because by the time they were doing 7, it's not just that they had better technology. I think they had a wider range of people who were able to do like a better job. I'm going to say something that's going to like annoy people. I don't think Resident Evil 8 was as good as... Okay, it was good for different reasons. It was not
actually,
good because
a lot of people in the community,
mommy.
I think, like right now, actually not looking at 8 that highly. The only thing that 8 was good for is from 1 or 2 characters specifically. Heisenberg and Lady Dimitrescu. Probably.
I did not like that Lady Dimitrescu. There wasn't any good music in Resident Evil 8.
It's also the fact that Resident Evil 8 just really lost one particular thing for me. Like when I looked at it, it's just like after a while, it just wasn't scary, like at all.
No, it wasn't scary
Like
at all.
at the
No.
first, in the first, there's
Like you know how a lot of horror needs to use like those shocking violin sounds in
right.
order to like in order to get those hairs in your back
Hmm.
going up. So if you do that for too long, people get used to it and it just loses
Yeah,
its
there's only
effect.
maybe one place in Resident Evil 8 that was kind of scary, but not really that much compared to things that they did in the past. And that was like
The fucking doll,
the
the
dollhouse.
doll.
Yeah, the dollhouse. That was the only one
And
because
it wasn't scary. It wasn't scary because it was scary. It was scary because of the thought of dolls. It's just
yeah, and
scary.
also the thing that he had to have like the body of his wife as a doll, which was also a particular other thing. So that also was pretty scary. Like the monster that chased you, but not really that much because it unfortunately wasn't really a big part of the game. For some reason, they decided to focus on combat, which is interesting. Don't get me wrong, but on the other hand, it's just like it just wasn't as good. Like it's not the
I
worst
agree.
Resident Evil game. It just more feels like Resident Evil side mode that they're just like trying to sell you on like kind of still kind of like not scarce ammo, but more like focusing about shooting and killing things rather than just like running and
So
hiding.
if we're already ranting about video games, you might as well get it out of your system. I know one that you're thinking of.
Which one?
Devil May Cry.
Oh, you're talking about that one. No, I wanted to save it. It's a kind of a picante one. I wanted to save that for later, but if you want me to talk about it now, let's be honest, there's one particular song that is very, 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 very popular.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Buried Alive is just really, really. Let's be honest.
No, it is good.
Let's be honest. Even like
It
if
is
you don't
good.
like the memes or anything, even though I kind of like them, they're kind of funny in my opinion. Is that like
I think the memes are overrated.
they're
I honestly think
overrated.
Devil May.
They're overrated, but I think like some of them that they did back in the day were funny. Now they're overrated, but they were funny.
No, I think they were overrated. I honestly thought they were overrated even back then.
Fair.
How sometimes you can see a meme, you can tie a little song to it and say, "Oh no, that's funny." It's like
Yeah.
I agree. There's something that PewDiePie used to say that I 100% agree with.
Okay.
Meme plus meme does not equal meme.
Hmm.
Even though there are people who made careers off of that concept.
Fair enough. But I would say this
Fair enough.
Buried the Light and like the game in general, like I know it's actually a really good game, and I haven't really played it or like watched someone play it because I have my own things to do in life and like I'm not in the time to watch actually people playing other video games. But the point is, except from quite a few, but the point is that Devil May Cry just in general have really really good music. 5 in my opinion just like have amazing music for Virgil specifically because it's just like it's really just tells his story through the song, which is really interesting and very very cool.
There are other games that really do music really, really well. Like there's one game in particular that like half of the memes are just the music in it. You know what game I'm thinking about?
Which one?
Minecraft.
Of
Minecraft is
course.
just okay. Full disclosure, I haven't played in years.
Yeah, but you're still talking about. I'm just kidding. It's something that you
No,
enjoy.
no.
That's fine.
Minecraft is a game of beauty. It really is a game of beauty. It's a game that does that music.
Okay.
If you're playing Minecraft without sound on, then A, you're a bad player. B, you're not experiencing the game to its fullest potential. And C, you're going to die. All right, you're gonna die.
I mean, it is true because there are a lot of like sound cues. I wouldn't say sound cues, but like sounds that like you hear in Minecraft, and you know that something bad is going to happen. Basically,
Exactly. When you start entering like a certain area and a certain depth, I'm not going to start explaining how Minecraft works because it's a game that does not really have much. It's a sandbox game, meaning that
Yeah.
you cannot really expect anything. But what you can do is when you're digging down, when you're going under a certain X level, when you're digging down, you're going to start hearing like certain sounds. Like sometimes you're going to hear zombie noises, skeletons, and sometimes a music is going to start playing that's going to let you know, oh, you're getting near a very dangerous area.
Yes.
You should probably be very careful.
So you wouldn't die.
And so you wouldn't die, no. And I feel like that's a big I feel like that's a big part of the game because they're always updating it, and the music always slaps. Even their worst one, which is Chirp. I don't care what people say.
Hmm.
I know that there is a meme to hate. There's a certain music disc that it's a meme to hate. I
Okay.
forget who did it, but the worst one is Chirp. I really hate Chirp. Regardless, it just laughed. And then, like a couple of years ago, this is something I actually actively looked for. I played the game a little bit just to find it so I can listen to it authentically, and that is Pig Step. If you have the chance,
Okay.
go listen to Pig Step. Pig Step, go Minecraft Pig Step. That song is a banger.
Okay.
It really is. I cannot sell it off more than I should.
Hmm.
And I think we've talked enough about
Video game.
music from video games.
Now we can move actually into different kind of things. We actually been talking like quite a bit about video games, but well, other mediums.
It was a big part of our upbringing.
Yeah.
Our upbringing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Like
But another thing that we
there's
can
nothing you
talk
can do
about
about that.
actually that people probably expected us to talk about and continue talking about is, well, anime. But we don't really have to only talk about anime. We can actually expand it into shows or commercials or things of that nature. So you have anything that you think is very memorable of this particular nature, like show or commercials, that you think like their songs are quite a bangers.
Yeah. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about a commercial I just popped into my head. Like, the commercial that everybody knows. Well, there are a couple of them, but like the biggest one I can think about is McDonald's. Like everybody knows the McDonald's jingle, even if you never
Yeah,
ate there
it
in your
was
life.
really catchy, and also like it's kind of like, I wouldn't say it's not like what I like we talked about before, which is like elevating a scene or things of that nature. It's like more of like,
It's just
yeah,
captivating.
it's just like a song that just like stays in your head and you cannot ever get rid of it.
Yeah, it's like remember there used to be this show called How I Met Your Mother?
Yes.
So there, in How I Met Your Mother, if you watched it or didn't watch it, there's a character called Marshall, and
Okay.
Marshall, like there's this one episode where he sees that everybody's so angry at Marshall because that he's all the time singing things. Remember that? Does that ring a bell?
No, I don't remember that one.
Okay, so I'm just gonna give it a little bit of a context because it just came up to my head, out of nowhere. So I'm just gonna say there's an episode where Marshall is about to pass the bar to become a lawyer, right?
Mhm.
And basically what happens is like he's gonna get the result one way or the other, but the night of he's trying to figure out what was the code for his online account to see if he
Okay.
to see if he passed or not, because for him it was like crazy. It was crazy like that. And the jingle that I remember is that I still remember it because it was said to be like a jingle that felt like it was taken straight out of a commercial where he goes apples oranges banana cat dance age 663 and that was like the code.
Interesting.
Still remember it. I feel like a lot of commercials in the past that a lot of commercials these days don't do it like they used to, where they actually like they got someone to make a catchy jingle that actually worked.
I mean,
You know?
it's not really working that well anymore, but there are some specifical, I would say, Japanese commercial that I heard, like, just watching them or just seeing them, and like they do have some catchy songs.
Okay.
And things that doesn't really make any sense, but it's like, just like getting you kind of like excited for this product, even though you just don't really care about buying it or anything. It's just like, I think they were supposed to be really, really competitive. I don't know if we have any one from viewer from Asia or things of that nature. Like those countries that have like a
Hey,
very
hey, hey, hey,
dense
hey.
kind of population. What?
To quote Ryan George, you don't know.
I don't know. But seriously though, if we have someone here from like the Far East, as they call it, even though I don't really believe like there's actual Far East, because the world is round, and don't tell me it's flat because I will come and get you.
The
And
world is flat. Don't believe this man.
and I will take you to a very nice dinner. But regardless.
Thank
Anyway, the point is like what I mean by this is like I kind of like heard or essentially just like seeing that a lot of like the Japanese, I think even like ones from China, but maybe a little bit less now, that are a little bit like, trying to sell you on the thing really much with like a really cool song and like very competitive compared to what we have in our country, which is like, yeah, they're trying to sell you on this, but it doesn't really feel like you actually care about it that much. Like you never really pay attention in our country so much to commercials, but there are
That's
some
not true.
Hmm?
That's not true.
I mean, there are commercials that you pay attention to. I'm saying like most of them I don't really care.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, 99%. Nobody cares about commercials these days.
Yeah, but like it just feels like in Japanese commercials they just give a lot of more effort to the actual commercial.
No. They used to care, but Japan still cares. That's the difference.
I
think because here's what I think. What I think about a lot of these commercials is they used to care about writing a story and adding music that was actually captivating, because it was a lot more competitive back then. And today you see a million. It is a lot easier to broadcast commercials than it was back then, and it's even cheaper.
Right.
Because let's say a month you only need to pay $10,000 hypothetically to YouTube to broadcast a commercial in your region. Back then it would cost like $30,000, and you'd have to hope that your commercial is being aired during prime time or during when there's popular things on TV. Now you click on a YouTube video, you get 2 pre-roll ads, and good odds that you're going to see whatever they want you to see, specifically for the demographic that they want.
Right.
And that's how it used to be. People used to care, and then they were like, oh no, we can build a million ads. The retention time is 5 seconds, so we have to shove it in there.
Yeah, and that's also what happens in YouTube mostly. You just get the 6 seconds ads. Sometimes 2 of them now.
But sometimes when the ads are really good, I watch it to the end. Like there's a recent ad that I used to get of Just Eat with Katy Perry. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I probably didn't get that one specifically for me, but which one?
When you're running low and there's no place to go.
Maybe it's because
get what I want when I want it. You don't know that one?
Your maybe accounts also set a little bit to the US.
No,
because mine isn't.
No,
or it doesn't have to do with that.
Anyways, yeah, we edited a little bit out right now because we got a little bit personal, and sometimes we don't want our personal lives out there like that.
Yeah, there's some particular things that like we like you guys a lot, like we're listening to the podcast and everything, but there are some particular things like we don't really care for you to know. Like it's not like, no offense to anybody, it's not your business.
Yeah, exactly. Like my harem of princesses from anime. You don't need to know about that.
Like you would have a harem. You're not that kind of person, but whatever.
But I am the kind to joke about it.
That's true. But yeah, do you have anything else to add about commercials before we'll jump on into actually other things, maybe?
No, I think I got it.
I think we can actually talk about commercials for a very, very long time if we actually want to look into it. But
no, we don't want to. Nobody deserves it.
We don't want to.
Unless we're getting paid. No. I don't think I would make an entire episode about that. I think that's not fair for the listeners, and it's not fair for us.
This video is sponsored by. Not really.
This video is sponsored by the playlist of the previous videos. Please go watch them. We beg.
That's a good one. Even not watch them. Go listen to them. That's
You're
enough.
right. Go listen to them.
You can just
put it. Good. They're really good. We put a lot of effort into them.
Even though we're not like just high quality streamers or podcast people like Joe Rogan or people of that nature. Yes, I
or Logan Paul.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm
we
even
still
going to mention distractible, even though they like to call themselves idiots. But regardless, point is like we're not in that high level. We're still just doing our fun, doing our best, and putting a lot of effort into it.
as we should. Yeah.
But moving now, actually, after the sponsorship of ourselves, now we're actually going to talk about the other thing that I'm actually very, very interested in, and that's actually still going back into shows. But again, not specifically anime, because one that I actually want to talk about is honestly some particular cartoons that had absolutely banger music, or music that just like felt really like not even banger music, but like
I
felt
have
really
three
good
in
for the
mind.
scene.
I have three in mind that I think that you're talking about. I'm gonna say all three. Tell me if I got it right.
Okay,
Uh, Avatar,
true.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
Which one?
2008.
There's no 2008. There is 2003. I think you meant that one, but regardless.
Yeah, that one. And the
And
third one, uh, I don't know, Danny Phantom. That had some banger music in it.
which one is the third one?
Danny Phantom.
I mean, it has a banger music, but there's actually one else that I thought about. So you got 1.5, I guess, because the second one you didn't really guess correctly. But regardless, the third one is actually Batman Beyond.
Batman Beyond. Yeah. I love that one.
Batman Beyond, Batman Beyond, and I'm going to say this about all of these three shows, which is like Avatar specifically really have like really good music, and
It
just
really
maybe
does. Wait. Avatar and Legend of Korra. Both of them have banger
yeah,
music.
we can actually make an entire episode talking about this show, how much we love it, and actually we find it really, really interesting. Anyway, what I want to talk about is the fact that, like, even though if you don't really like the theme songs for each character, you cannot deny the great usage that some of these shows, like we mentioned, or all of these shows, actually just elevate the scene. For example, in TMNT 2003, okay, there's one particular theme that is basically just comes out every single time in almost in every meme that like you're just getting kind of like backflipped, and kind of like at least in Hearthstone memes, like in something that is called Trick Totem, they use the Shredder final part of like his theme song, which is yo, that one, like they're actually doing like the pitch,
Yeah.
yo, that one, they're using it a lot because it's just like such a good meme. But regardless, it's like it's who that character is when you hear that voice, you hear that music, that theme, like this theme song is really just fill the ambience with dread. It feels like it's scary to kind of like fight this man, and this theme song is just like the first time I heard it is like this is the character to not mess with. This is the Shredder that you don't want to mess with.
Shredder, yeah, Shredder. Shredder is such a great character in general because
even the 2000, even the rise of TMNT one is actually really, really good. A lot of people don't really give credit for Rise.
Like even the shows from the 90s, like the movies from the 90s. Oh, it's actually
a really great one. Yeah.
The one with Vanilla Ice. Vanilla Ice. His song "Ice Ice Baby." That I think that was in one of them. Also, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it wasn't Ice Ice Baby, but I know Vanilla Ice was in one of the movies as a character, and I thought that was incredible.
I don't remember which movie, but the point is, like, in 2003, like, it's just the one that I grew up with, so that's why I remember it more than 97 or 2012, that people maybe like them more, so I'm just going to mention out there, or even Rise. That's the one that I grew up with, that's how it's going to us, and, like, they did a really, really good job with, like, it feels whose character's theme song it is. It feels really, really cool. Like some particular like fights have like more of like a, I don't know, martial art, I guess, music. So it kind of like fits for the two characters that are fighting. Some of them feeling like more ambience. Like they did a really, really good job, at least in the 5 first seasons of the show in that particular kind of like department. 6 and 7, like fast forward and Back to the Sewers are actually not the worst show, like seasons ever.
Music-wise, yeah.
Music-wise, they're also really good. Like the theme songs for Back to the Sewers and the original, like the 5 first seasons is slaps. It's so good.
You know what else comes to mind? Remember the one season where they're like going to the future, fast forward, Teenage Mutant Ninja fast forward?
Yeah,
Remember
it's
that
actually a
one?
lot better than people give it credit for, but yeah.
No, it's incredible. But the music itself, the intro music is also really good. I think about it sometimes.
There's some people who absolutely don't like it and think it's too generic, but like I don't know, even if it's too generic,
What's
even if
wrong with
it's
generic?
yeah, something nothing is wrong with generic, and even if it's too generic, the fact that you kind of like remember it because it's generic and it's like it's hums in your head, that shows to you that it actually was able to be a good song.
I'm sorry,
So yeah,
I'm a basic person. I like my music good, you know?
me like music good. But I would
Yeah.
say this: most of the TMNT intros, not talking about the Nyx mutation, are actually really, really good. Like all of the intros are just feeling like really, really good in what they do. Another really good intro is the third show that I mentioned is well, Batman Beyond. Batman Beyond has a really good intro. Like
It
it's not
has
even
it's not that it
words.
has good it's not that it has good a good intro. It has an intro that fits the whole theme
Theme.
of the whole theme of Batman Beyond, and
Yeah.
it has music that actually fits the show.
And the visuals in general, like we're not even I don't really like to mention like the visuals because we're trying to talk about songs, but the visuals and the like actually theme like the music theme of this just fits really well together.
I'm about to say something. I think the visuals actually are very important to mention with music with
Of
audio
course,
because
but we're trying to talk about like the music itself, how it is
no,
like
no.
just
You just made me
enhanced.
think. You just made me think about
Fair
something that
enough.
I'm gonna bring up later. But I here's what I think. The whole rise of music videos really brought up like an interest into some songs. A lot of songs people watched because of the music videos, and one that comes to mind is there's this band called the Gorillas. Have you ever heard of them?
No, no, I did not.
Okay, then you should definitely check them out. The Gorillas is a band that's been operating for like 20 to 25 years,
Mm-hmm.
and they're basically a virtual band where they get other
Okay.
people to sing on their songs, but they like they make the song, they write the song, they make the the whole audio, they write the lyrics, they make, and one of the most important things that they do in the song is they have a very unique animation style that they animate themselves. They're like two dudes
Mm-hmm.
who animate this. I think they're British, and and their songs are incredible because it takes a lot of passion and a lot of like creativity to do what they do, and I don't, and I think that a big part, a big sell for their music is the music videos. Like there's this one song. If you were to watch any Gorillaz song, I'd argue you should watch
Mm-hmm.
Feel Good Inc. or Clint Eastwood. They're both incredible songs in their own rights. Feel Good Inc. is probably a little bit more catchier, a lot more people like it, but I like Clint Eastwood a lot too. I think that is a very underrated song. It like, I'm happy, I'm feeling fine, I got sunshine in a bag, I ain't useless, or
Mm.
something like that. It's like it's an incredible song. You see them driving, you see like the whole animation. It's just it's incredible. And this is why I disagree with what you said that visuals don't matter. In the grand scheme of things, they really don't matter. But it's like saying what
It's
you
another
just
way to kind of like just elevate the thing. I'm not trying to say like it doesn't really just helps, but what we're trying to talk about here is music in general, not like
like
visuals. Like we can actually make a video for visuals as well, but I think like music is more interesting
the
because
music
music
is
is
a hundred
like
percent more because music is something you put in the
is
background of your own
yeah,
life
exactly.
while you're doing other things, and
Anything.
yeah. I think it's just good fun. That's just what I think about the Gorillas. So going back talking about what were we talking about? We're talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Did we talk
And
about?
Batman
You
Beyond
said
and
you
things.
Avatar. We wanted to talk about Avatar
A
too.
little bit, yes.
Right.
But
So with Avatar, the songs are just always work. It's
it's
just
really like the Bender theme also just really fits in general in some particular
yeah,
scenes. It
the
just
whole
feels really, really well.
you know.
Yeah,
The whole
that one. That is supposed to be I believe, the Fire Tribe of the Fire Sun
yeah,
tribe,
something like
whatever
that.
they're
No,
called.
when firebenders are doing cool stuff,
Yeah, which is
I think it's just all underrated, and not to mention like how well like that show puts a lot of other animated shows to shame because that
exactly.
okay, you made an animated show, but why doesn't the music fit? Why doesn't this? And Avatar's like, bet we're gonna make it fit. We're gonna make it look good. And
The
it's like,
the some people don't really like to call Avatar anime. Some people just don't really agree with
I
it being
disagree.
anime.
I disagree.
I'm going
Avatar.
to say this: anime. It doesn't mean that it's Japanese, even if you like you look at it like this, and people will just like categorize that. Anime just mean animation. So
Not just that. Not just that. I hate
yeah.
gatekeepers. I hate gatekeepers who are like, "Oh no, that's not anime. That's not anime."
We have a
you want
friend
to-
actually, or should say only like I think it's a mutual friend, but it's more a friend of mine that actually in conventions like because of this to kind of like go with a sign just written on it. Avatar is one of the best animes. Just like going with it with a sign,
It's
is just
a
like
true statement.
infuriating. I know it's a true statement, but he like to infuriate people. It's just absolutely hilarious.
So speaking of anime, let's give the people a little bit of anime because that you know what else has really good music?
The big three, of course.
The big three. Yeah, this is something we've talked about in the past before. We talked about how one of the things that actually sells the big three is not just the fact that they're really, really good shows and that they're written really, really well.
It's
they
the music.
Have banger music. Each and every one of them.
Yeah, I'm going to say this. Like, we have a friend, also another friend, that kind of argue with the fact that, like, one of the anime that we're going to mention right now doesn't really have all of that good of a song, and I have to disagree. The one that I'm going to talk about right now, that all of its theme songs, in my opinion, the opening theme songs are great, even though there are some of them that I like less, and some of them are a little bit weird to me. They're still really, really good, and that is Bleach. Bleach has banger openings. Even the new one that like I expected it to be a little bit worse.
Who says that? Who says that Bleach has Oh, right. No, Bleach has banger music.
That's why I didn't mention the name. You know why?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It took me a second. I was like, what type of heathen says is that Bleach has bad music or not good music? No, Bleach has banger.
There are maybe like bad themes that we don't really like, but it's not like just terrible. We cannot hear them.
Once again, I've said this before and I'll say it again. I don't know if I've said this on video, but if I haven't, then I want to go on record saying it. You cannot blame Bleach for all of the filler that it had, because when Bleach was airing, the whole idea of seasonal anime didn't exist. You either were always being in people's limelight or you weren't.
Same goes with Naruto as well, but Naruto kind of suffered from it a little bit less, even though the final arc kind of like was a year and a half before they got back to the actual show, which was absolutely terrible.
Oh my god, I can't stop thinking of the remake that they did for number one.
The new
Bleach.
One.
Yeah.
I need to just get it and like somewhere and actually listen to it again. It's just so great.
It is so great.
Also, the intro is actually good, really good. Like, it's not like amazing. Like, I'm talking about the theme song.
Yeah,
the opening theme song.
Yeah,
I don't think it's
really
like
good.
One of the top ones, but it's still very, very good.
No, it's nowhere close to being one of the top 5 ones, but it's still really good. But still man. Bleach. Okay, if you watch Bleach and you should know that every single time they have music, they have background music that sets the tone perfectly,
really well, like just perfectly.
You know that one?
No, I don't remember.
Oh no, I think you do. But it's just like I can't do it justice. Yeah. I really can't. It's just
which one is that?
I forget which one it's called, but there's also one called Aizen's theme, which is also incredible.
Aizen's theme is great.
Aizen's theme is so great. Unironically, when I'm working, I sometimes just take a break and listen to Bleach music.
Bleach like music is awesome.
No. When I say Bleach music, I don't mean like the intro or the outro. I'm just talking about like.
I know what you mean.
Yeah,
Also,
it's just so
I
great.
think Bleach was also just so popular during its time. I'm not sure if there's other shows that did it, but they also created an entire album with some of its theme songs.
Oh, Naruto did that. Naruto did
Yeah,
that.
that they basically just like took the voice actors that's singing the song that is kind of a little bit related to them, but not
I'm
really,
gonna
even
say
though.
something. Naruto's music was better than half of the show. A lot of people like to simp for
Yeah.
Naruto and say, "Oh,
Naruto the
Naruto's a
original
good."
or Shippuden? Which one you're talking?
She put both of them used the same soundtrack, but
For the most part, not all, but for the most part, I see
for
what
the
you mean.
most part, I'm gonna say something now. The first before the time skip, like Naruto, not Naruto Shippuden. Naruto
Hmm.
is like a solid 8. When I say a solid 8, I mean it's a
Even
solid
with
8.
all the fillers,
The fillers were good.
some of them were actually not really that interesting, but yeah, I can see what you mean. Like the fillers were
The filler
not
arcs,
terrible.
filler arcs were
Filler
good.
arcs were good. Just the fillers,
Um,
not that good.
filler episodes are just terrible. You can't justify
The
filler
reason also
episodes.
just the filler arcs in Naruto were actually kind of okay because the world like was established, but not like in kind of a way. And it's also there were young children, so they actually just like it's made sense for some of these fillers to be kind of a little bit of dumb and also just like
No, but
really fun.
forget that for a second. I just feel like a lot of the music there just
Hmm.
works. Like when Rock Lee is fighting Gara, and then there's like an intense
Yeah.
soundtrack that sounded really good. Um, if you've
And you
never
like
listened to, look up Naruto Sadness soundtrack. That
hmm
is a banger.
and
It
you like
really is.
Naruto the original more than the actual Shippuden show? Really?
Oh yeah, yeah, 100%. Shippuden was just terrible. Like Shippuden had maybe a couple of good moments here and there, but overall it wasn't as good as the original. It wasn't as intense.
I mean, there are some particular
I,
parts that I do agree with you that it wasn't as good, but I do think it's like the story arc was a little bit more interesting.
okay, Shippuden overall had like a wider it has a lot more episodes, and of course of course overall it's gonna have a lot more moments that were good, but Naruto the original had a lot more the intense moments in Naruto were a lot more impactful, like when Jiraiya died in Naruto Shippuden. Spoiler alert: Jiraiya dies.
If you haven't
That
seen
was
it, that's kind of weird, but whatever.
yeah. Jiraiya's like then it was impactful and it set up a tone and it's great, but it didn't really change much in. It didn't really change too much in Naruto that we actually saw, because even later when he goes to beat Pain, he's like, every fiber in my being wants to beat you, but Jiraiya wouldn't want this, and I was like, that's just like pushing your beliefs onto like someone else being dead. Like
Hmm.
that's not like actually that's not changing who you are. I think he changed who he was a lot later. I think that was a key moment that a lot of people like to say, "Oh no, it was impactful." To me, it wasn't, and that's just my opinion. But in Naruto, when Rock Lee, like I said before, fights Gaara and he basically is told he's going to lose his entire future, I think that's a little bit more impactful, because the difference is Jiraiya is already an old man towards, I shouldn't say towards the end of his life, but like he's not like a kid with the potential to be anything. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
Rock Lee is basically a genius at taijutsu. Like he's unmatched
Even
by
though he's
anyone.
basically not really good at anything else, which was pretty interesting for his character arc. But
Yeah. And he's told you won't be able to do the one thing that you wanted to do your entire life. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty impactful to me, you know?
also, one thing I would say, like Naruto only felt like he actually like grew from the entire show of Shippuden only a little bit in the end, and with the last, I guess the last was actually a really really good movie in my opinion.
Yeah. Another cool moment that I sometimes just rewatch for the heck of it because I really love
Hmm.
from Naruto Shippuden. I'm going to admit I'm a bit of a sucker for vanilla for vanilla flashy parts. Is when Naruto goes fights what's his name? When Naruto breaks away from when Naruto at this point already achieved his tailed beast form, you know, the one where he goes like orange, and this is before he gets familiar with Kurama completely. It's when he fights the third Raikage, I think. Yeah, the third Raikage. You know, you remember when the third Raikage is a zombie?
Yeah, I think I also remember the fact that like you fight all of the other 7 beside B as well, kind of like in that form.
Yeah, no. So he fights the third. Wait, is it the third Raikage? The third Raikage who's basically a zombie, I think. I think this is the third Raikage who's a zombie. A reanimated
version.
Corpse. Yeah.
The one that was supposed to be attached to the third tails, I believe, but
no, he wasn't attached to the third tails. This is just the guy who beat the 8 tails. Remember, there's a Raikage who beat the 8 tails.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. No, I kind of like mistook something else. Then
it's all good. And basically afterwards he has to go fight a reanimated version of the Stand Village Kage.
Yeah, but I think Gaara kind of like thought.
Yeah, Gaara took, and then he goes to fight the second Mizukage.
I don't remember. Mitsukage, maybe?
No, Mizu, the water of the water village, whatever. The water village people, whatever. So I thought all of these were just cool stuff, and the music is amazing.
Yeah, the music is great there. I don't really ever heard like so much One Piece music, but
no, One Piece music bangs. One Piece music bangs. It's just no. There's not too much of it. It just One Piece music mostly bangs within when you're watching One Piece, but it doesn't bang as hard when you're just listening to it. I know a lot of people are going to say, no, I listened to it, and I'm like, fair enough. But like the majority of people are not going to go back and re-listen to a whole bunch of music from One Piece because it just doesn't set a mood that you can just see yourself going into. That's a big part of One Piece. Which, by the way, One Piece is a freaking banger. One Piece has a better flow to its stories than any other anime that I can think of. Like from the big 3.
I'm not sure if I agree with this, but whatever.
It's been going on for over 1,000 episodes. Let's be honest. You can.
It feels like 1,000 years, but whatever.
No. But the music itself isn't that great. It has one good song that they repeat all the time, which is yo ho yo ho yo ho yo ho, and that's okay. That's actually pretty decent. If you want to listen to it, if you're ever in the mood for like something a little bit uplifting, it definitely is. But all it'll do is uplift you, and most of the time I'm not in an uplifting mood. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand that. You're not always in the best of mood all the time.
Yeah, but another good one is I think I'm all out of talking about the big 3. Do you have anything else you want to talk about the big 3?
About the big 3, I don't really think I have anything specifically I want to add about the big 3 because I think the big 3 just already have just good songs. But I will add one particular show that we both like that also have good music. I'm not saying like the best music, but one particular song that is absolutely amazing. Two of them specifically.
Am I making a video about this?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so full disclosure, this is we're recording this before I put up this episode, the night before, but it is incredible. Black Rover from Black Clover, and also
Black. I forgot what the name of the other one. The 10th opening. The 10th opening. Black Rover is the 3rd, and the Black other one I don't remember is the 10th one.
No.
Yeah, I do remember. I basically put Black Rover on repeat for a very long time. I know that Black Rover is the 3rd intro.
Black Catcher.
Yes.
Black Rover and Black Catcher. Those two are bangers in their own rights.
Yep, they're amazing.
Da,
Yeah.
da, 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 da. Yeah, oh my god. If you're listening to this podcast and you haven't watched Black Clover because you're like, "Oh, I heard that the voice actor for for the main character has been yelling a lot." I'm like, he does it only in the first like 2 or 3, maybe 5 episodes, but he doesn't do it because he wants to.
Yeah.
There's something that a lot of people need to realize. Voice actors, they still have to follow the script that the director does. So it was the director's choice to have him yell.
Also, when he yells, it's not really that annoying. It's actually kind of endearing most of the time. And it's not really yelling all the time, as you might think.
Yeah, and afterwards they use okay, Black Clover does music a little bit better than like a lot of the other shows do. Like a lot of people like to say My Hero Academia is so great. I think My Hero Academia is actually a decent 5. And a decent 5 is really good in my book.
I do think their intros are kind of atrocious. I don't like them at all.
The intros are atrocious. They have some. They utilize music in a okay. It's not a terrible fashion. It's not as bad as, let's say. I don't know what. I don't know. It's just there are so many forgetful shows. A lot of people like to praise, and I'm like, the music that they use is just generic and boring. Like, okay, in Spy Family, they use sometimes these little thingles, and I'm like, I'm bored out. I'm bored of that. Bored of that style. Or in what's it called? What's the name of that show? Ugh, it just had a 3rd season.
Which one?
Come on, it's really really big. It's the one with what's it called again? Love is War. Kaguya-sama Love is War.
Oh,
That's
right. It wasn't this season. It was two seasons ago, or a season ago? I don't remember.
It all becomes a big mush at some point.
Yes.
Anyway, so they also use a lot of generic, music in the show itself, and I love the manga of Kaguya-sama Love is War a lot better than I like the show. And I'll say this: other than what's her name? What's the name of that girl who dances in?
I don't remember.
Chica, that's her name.
Chica from Black.
Chica, the pink-haired girl. The pink-haired girl.
From that you also work like wearing a particular animatronic costume and.
So she basically has a dance, and that song is good. But other than that, I hate to say it, the intro is very forgetful. The music that they use in it is very generic. I'd say that the show itself is good. The music choice is just so bad.
That's fair.
And I always say that sometimes, and I don't always say this, but like I always say this in my mind, I'm not going to remember this, or if it's good, I'll remember it. Like in Toradora, you remember that show?
No.
Okay, so Toradora is like, you know how Future Diaries is the epitome show for a yandere? So Toradora is the epitome show for a tsundere.
Toradora, I don't remember that one.
It's really big, Toradora. I'd honestly give it like a 4.5 out of 10. It wasn't that good. It wasn't bad. Like the ending is really good, but like until you get to the ending, you're already like out of emotional energy. You know what I mean?
A little bit, yeah. I think I know what you mean.
So if you're watching Toradora, you can already start watching it from you watch episode 1 and 2, skip to episode 10, 11. No, don't do that, because the story is important and everything, but I can't say I have fond memories. I do remember liking it.
Okay.
Yeah. But again, it only had one point in the entire show where he used music that was memorable, to me at least, and that's like episode 11, I think. Episode 11 is when it gets good. I'll admit it. By episode 11, you're actually having a good time. Episode 11, 12, you're having a good time, but it's just you're already emotionally drained by that point.
I don't know. I don't really know this show that well, I guess. So,
Oh, you looked it up?
No.
Liar.
No, I did not, actually. I was focusing on something else, which is listening to you speaking.
We both know that's not true. Anyway.
No, I focused on something else that you know what I focused on. But I did hear you. It just,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just didn't really watch
it's
that show.
okay. It's okay. You know, let's end this. Let's end
I
this
think
soon.
that that's kind of a very very good place to wrap everything up. I think as an overall
Nope.
wrap.
One more thing. One more thing.
Wrap. Just go ahead.
One more thing. One more piece of media that we both haven't really talked about that
Wrap.
does an incredible show, an incredible way that everybody's been memeing for years. And you know what that is? Harry
Which one?
Potter.
Tell me. Of course.
I
mean, Harry Potter has a very, very banger. Yeah, that one.
That was incredible. That was
It
incredible.
was a great one.
Yeah. So if, I think this is a good place to wrap this all up. So if you're still listening, and we hope you are.
Yeah, if you are listening, we're just going to say we appreciate you very very much so for actually sticking with this us so far in this episode in general and actually giving us your time. Anything you would like to add yourself?
No, I'm just gonna say leave a like, subscribe, follow both me, Unharm or Dragon Unharm on YouTube, and my co-host here, Team NDL,
You can follow
and
Dragon Unharm on YouTube or on Twitch because you stream sometimes. You can
I do
follow
stream.
Me. Yeah,
I stream Town of Salem. It's a good game.
Fair enough. Yeah, I know you love this game so much. But also you can follow me here, of course, in the Unfit crew. Even though if you want to subscribe to the channel, it will help us a lot. I think we also have plans to actually upload these episodes to actually other podcasts as well. So if you're a podcast websites, so if you want to follow us there as well and just help us a little bit there,
we will be doing that soon enough.
And of course, you can follow me if you're interested in my Yu-Gi-Oh shenanigans and other things of that nature on Team NDL. YouTube/Team NDL if you're looking for that. And also, I might do other videos here on the Unfit Crew channel. But for the time being, we're just interested in doing the podcast and something that we will really, really enjoy. We might do other things as well in the future. We might even just going to have guests or people that we want to have. But for now, we're just working the format and have things that we're actually just want to do for fun, as you've seen for this. But that's pretty much it. Again, advertising ourselves. Go listen to the playlist if you're interested to hear more from us. We don't have a merch. We don't have a store, so there's nothing really much to look into it yet.
We don't have a logo.
We don't have anything because it's still work in progress. Maybe we'll become bigger. Who knows? But yeah, hope you enjoyed. We'll see you in the next one.
We'll see you in the next one. Bye, idiot.
Oh, shut up, you moron.